Welcome to Deeply Rooted, a web series on mindset. My name is Tony Wisdom, aka Tony Gaines. I've spent over 20 years in the music business as a producer, engineer, label owner, and executive. This show is dedicated to changing the narrative on success. I reached out to the most successful people I know. I want to know what drives them, their greatest mistakes, their best advice, their secrets to success, and how all of that has shaped who they are today. Take a journey with us. Hey, we're back. Deeply Rooted, Season 6, Episode 5, with my man Roger Suggs, also known as Vigalantee. I encountered this brother when I was working up in Kansas City at Industry Studios. My man J Rock, rest easy, brother. And I think the first time I encountered him, he was bringing Boyce Watkins to the studio, which is kind of funny, right? You got like all these super gangster rappers, in here every day doing God knows what, and then his brother brings in Boyce Watkins, So I've always known him to be, an intellectual, a thinker, an advocate for his people, He did some pretty cool stuff here recently with Toyota, featuring some Black history in Kansas City, Kansas. So I'll let him tell you about his background, but at the end of the day, man, this is what this show is all about. Talking to people like this that are out here doing what they can to make the world a better place, and digging into the mindset of someone like that and what keeps them going, what drives them. So thank you for showing up. Let's get this thing started. The brother, Roger Vigilante Suggs.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I can't complain. Allergies going crazy, but other than that, that's it.
Yeah, it's that time of year, right?
Yeah, you know
it. So yeah, real quick before we get in it, could you give us a little of your background?
Well, start off with rap, play a little basketball. Main thing is background, just through music, I always like to touch people's mind and their soul. So I ended up being an activist. I don't even call myself an activist anymore. It's an actionist. Because a lot of activists, they are activists. They are active. They visit the situation, but never get the solution done. So I wanted to be about action. And I started getting into that because the music compelled me to want to do more than just rap about it, talk about it, but actually change stuff. So when I got to Wyandotte, I saw this town was more of a city that a lot of people tell each other down in the city. I just saw so much life in this city. Not too big, easy roads to get to. That's why a lot of young people not taking advantage of the college. There's a college right there that they wouldn't even go into unless they go to graduation of high school, but never walk around and see what their parents' taxpayer money pays for. So I created a program to help our young people get them off the streets, get into school, get a degree, or an LLC, or then I started making them get all of it. You get your degree, your LLC, or your certificate, so you got a better chance of life. And that became my passion, and I ain't look back. That's pretty much it.
I love that, man, and I particularly love the piece about action, right? Because they say knowledge is power, right? But knowledge applied is power.
Exactly.
Right? You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you're just sitting on it and not doing nothing about it and talking about it, then what good does it really do? So hats off to you, brother, for that, man. And for the lives that you've most definitely infected, So appreciate you. So who is Roger Suggs, the person?
I think I look at myself as a person that's a hybrid, a person that, if he had his way, would be a minimalist. Even though it seems like I'm not. A lot of people can say they see me and know me, but they can never say they really hung out with me or been to my house or know these different things. So I try to do the actions and bounce off the scene. So I'm a person that's really like to be by myself, reading, thinking, and creating stuff. That's why I'm a creator, but I'm a lover of people. Though. I'm a lover of people. So it's kind of oxymoronic when you think about it.
Mhm.
I love people, but then I love I can be by myself. I can get just as loud, boisterous, and turn right back around and just be quiet as a mouse. You know what I'm saying? So it's just those type of things. So I'm definitely a enigma. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that cloud me, but one thing's for sure, I'm a person that puts love. And my motto is, um, I think that I can save mankind. And people say, what do you mean by save mankind? I got this saying, I believe I can save mankind because man is not kind, but I'm kind. So what type of man that makes me? A sane one. So I want people to get in that sanity train and look at the world, and it can be better, man. I just see the opportunities of the whole world, period. People, period. Black, whoever. You know, that it's the smallest things that we take for granted. And it can really, we can really change the world, and we choose not to because we're trapped in a system. So I'm that guy. I'm that underdog. I'm that David with that slingshot. And I'm aiming it at the light.
I love it, man. I love it. And, you know, it's the Gandhi quote, right? Be the change you want to see in the
Yeah.
world, right?
Yeah.
And I'm on the same mission, right? To change the world. And just like you, people say, well, how are you going to do that? You know, I don't know, but I know where I'm going to start.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start right here. See, because if I change my own world and change who I and how I show up in the world, then that effectively changes the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
everything doesn't have to be this big grandiose thing, because if I change my world and everything that I can touch, then I'm successful, you know?
Just did it. Yep. You just did it.
Yeah. So actually leads me to my next question. How do you define success?
I think success is first inner peace and something that you can see that you did for others,
Mm,
that you build them up, and that in point satisfy you, and your willingness to try even when the odds are against you, and you may even fail sometimes. I think success is not just measured by money. It's about, like I say, the inner feeling. Because some people could feel good about their life, but where they at. I saw a janitor. He was a pastor. I said, so why do you do the other one? He said, I just like them. I don't have to do it. I just like them. He's not worried about what people think about him when he cleaning the bathrooms or all that type of stuff. To me, that's success. When you're able to look yourself in the mirror and know that you did the best that you can, and it's bearing some type of fruit, I think it's successful. I think they raised the bar way too high what they think success is, especially monetarily. And a lot of great things go get lost. That's why you see a lot of unsung people, because they are measuring by a standard that's not for them.
mm,
You have your own standard of success is. You go by that right there.
yeah, I love it. And it's one of the reasons why I named this show Deeply Rooted, right?
Yep.
Um, it's about planting seeds and bearing fruit, right? And I've mentioned this on the show several times, but like I like to look at nature for my definition of success,
Nice.
right?
Okay.
So if a seed falls, it starts to sprout, takes roots, it shoots up, and it bears other seeds or fruits, whatever it may be. In nature, that's success. That's
Yes.
actually thriving, right?
Right.
And if you really look at that process, it's just about growing. So if you're growing every day, and your end goal is to spread fruit, bear fruit, spread seeds, you're successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Period.
Right.
So, you know, this instant gratification culture that we live in right now, man. And it's really skewing people's vision of what success looks like. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, a janitor, also a preacher. You know,
Yeah.
like you're making sure people are clean, safe. You know, and you're making sure they're clean and safe in here.
Yeah.
You know, so like I love it, man. Um, so what drives you? What's your why?
It's because it's like ever since a kid, I've always felt like I had a cheat code,
Mm.
meaning that I see what life is about. I get it. So that's the why. The why is because I get it and I understand it. Now there's gonna be people that the why and the why nots, you know what I'm saying? Because I get it. And it's almost like this thing. It's like hitting on 20 and like that 21 and the ace fall down. I literally believe, and people think I'm crazy with this. I literally believe in every single soul for one day decided that we're not going to kill, rob, fight. We're going to spread love that day. I literally believe that the universe will open up and say, "What took y'all so long?"
Mm.
I really believe that. So that's had to be the in this world standard, the crazy, the insane mentality. But that's what I really believe in. That's why, you know what, you like in my acronyms, truth. The reason you try harder. Get it? The truth should be the reason you try harder. So when I think about these things that come to me, like love, you know, I was like, man, I was thinking about love one day. I was like, wow, now I know how to love. And it means what you mean how to love. I made an acronym out of it. Love, LOVE, right? Letting one's value evolve. That's the only way you can love. Because your value is here and that person is different than yours. If it don't evolve, you don't love. So I see that we are always, my mind says to always evolve. Always not, people say ride or die, right? I'm gonna ride or die for this. I say ride and live. Because when you die, you can't ride no more. So we speak these negative finite thoughts instead of thinking infinite
Mm.
because somebody said so. So I literally believe it. I literally believe it. Will I win this or be a Grammy nominated or whatever? I still believe that we can change this world and learn from the predecessors of people that tried to because we have everything in front of us now to do it.
I love that. I love that. Here, let me check this record. So, understanding, right? That's what I got from you,
Yeah.
right? And you know, when you're blessed with that understanding, it's obligation and responsibility to do what you're doing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and for me too, it's like it's not even really something that I necessarily quote unquote desire to do. It's something that I'm obligated to do. I have a responsibility to do because I was gifted or blessed with understanding,
Yes.
being able to read something and get the meaning from it, right?
Yes.
Because not everyone can do that. You know what I'm saying? And people like that need people like us. You know,
Thanks.
so that's a powerful answer, bro. It really is. I
I
love that
appreciate it.
answer.
I appreciate it.
So, can you think of a major setback in your life that set you up for later success?
I think yes, not get in trouble and messing up my basketball career. You
Mm.
know, never got started because I wanted to be stupid, steal in the dorms and get in trouble. I say that, and also losing my job at Sprint. I was so comfortable at Sprint, having fun. My girl was working there, having fun, and then what's going on with that? And I lost I lost that job, and at that time, it was hard to get a job. This is like probably 2006, believe it or not. It was took that, you know, because my childhood was crazy, but just saying from an adult standpoint, I had to create something. Nobody was hiring me, and I created a program that got put on the campus, and I've been there for 15 years. So it was that not having nothing, being in this town that I'm a transplant to, and not having family up here, got 2 kids at the time, and I was up against it, man. I was up against it because I don't do crime. I'm not going to do nothing like that to mess me up. So I got to figure this thing out, sleeping on couches, sleeping in my car, and created something that's there that got me here now. So that was rough during that time right there. Very rough.
Yeah, and it was the setback that actually propelled you and got you, because sometimes we like to stay in our comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
It's real comfortable in there.
Yep.
You know, but there's not a lot of action going on in the comfort zone.
Comfortably not.
There's a lot of chilling going on, right?
Yep.
Yeah. What is one of the best or most worthwhile investments you've ever made? Could be an investment of energy, time, money.
I would say investing in students and I think my business too, but I say students because to really see a student come in one way and their parents not listening to them, they got no friends, they suicidal, and you stand by them and be that wall for them, and just to see them blow up after that, man. To see them blow up, you go, whoa, this guy was like this, or this girl was like this. Look at them now. I knew, I saw the letters. I saw when they wanted to give up on life and stuff. And they tell it's small wins. They tell you, thank you. You say you see them turn it all the way around, and you would never thought that would ever happen to them. That's, to me, besides my kids, that's it. That's why I still do it. That's my love.
I love that. And I think that, we just talked about this a second ago, but you said it's been on your mind lately. How do you define love?
I think love is when you are able to deny your selfish intentions for the better cause, the greater cause that eventually secures both of your hearts or what you're dealing with. That's what I think.
And so I that makes me think about my grandmother, right? Because I think about my grandmother and how she loves us, right? Like, and that's it right there, right? Like, she'll sacrifice her happiness or her comfort to make sure that the people that she loves can be as good as they can possibly be. That's all she wants us to be, is to just reach our potential,
Yeah, and it's amazing because, what you said about your grandmother, I think about my grandmother, my mom's, and different women in the world, as well as fathers, but, I created something. I did an acronym called MOMS, MOMS, right? You just kind of gave into it. About your story with your grandmother. Making one more sacrifice. That's what that love is. They make that sacrifice knowing that they're working hard, you sacrifice, or you might not have no clothes on, but your kids got good clothes on. The little things that we take for granted, because once again, what we said earlier, you go back to this condition, this template that the so-called world is made for you. These kids are taken for granted. People get off work and all the things you do. And then I think when that love is reciprocated by your kids is when you think about when a person gets older, that you still go see grandmother. You go visit grandma. You do everything possible to have grandmas at a home if you don't have to. When you see the sacrifice must be returned. I really believe that in life. The grandmother won't say nothing. They'll say, hey, I got this, don't worry about me. But it should be in return. Like, life is a circle of life, is the circle of life. So we should want to see how they're doing. Give them a call, talk to them, show up just because that's what they did. I think a lot of times we forget, and to me, that's love lost. And I don't believe in living in hindsight. I don't overtalk, but I got these 3 principles. Insight plus foresight eliminates hindsight. And people always talk about give flowers. I don't believe in giving flowers, Tony. I believe in giving oxygen so we can live and breathe. You see what I'm saying? My grandmother, my son asked my grandmother, how do it feel to be 93? She said, even better when I'm 94. So they still want to live too. So we got to remember that and treat them like we want to be treated. It's the golden rule with love. It's a universal law. But it should be even more because you just said what your grandmother wanted from you and stuff. So if she's still on this earth, we should want her to have as much comfort that they allow us. Because grandma's gonna stick to what they do anyway, but that they allow us.
Yeah. I love it, man. And another, just to add a little piece to that, it's like something I've been doing here this last couple years, is I'll pick my grandmother up and we'll just go out to lunch.
Yes.
We'll go. And I just been asking her questions about her life.
Yes.
Right? Because her history is my history too.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, learning how she was thinking as a little girl, or learning about the choices that she had to make, help me in my life. It's going to help my kids to be able to tell them where they come from. So there's that part too, right? It's like just making sure you know who you are and where you come from. And grandma, she's going to always be there. 4:30 in the morning, I'll call her. She'll get up and start cooking.
Yeah. It's in them. It's in them, man. And I think that I always tell people this. Taking pictures is good. I tell people film grandparents, film stuff, make memories, stuff like that. You can show a kid your great grandmother and they see it, but to see them actually talking, moving. I always tell them, use technology to your advantage. My grandma freaked out when we was on FaceTime. She was like, I can see you. I said, I see you too. She's in Georgia, I'm here. And she just thought it was the coolest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? And then I showed her how to get on YouTube. She watching her Sanford and Sons and stuff. And you gotta remember, my grandmama was around when there wasn't no television, it was a radio. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you think about what they are seeing, that's crazy. That'd be like if we live, and we're blessed to live to see time travel. You'd be like, what? So to them, that's us is nothing. Because we can say this, wow, it's kids that don't even know what a cassette tape is. Or VHS.
Yep.
Never heard of it. Think it's the most ancient thing in the world.
Yep.
So I always tell young people, not adore older people. Know why? Because they should be your goal. They got something you don't have. They contracted because they get our age, but we ain't in their age.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We got to, so we let people, that's why I respect that, because in our race, we begrudge people. He's old, he shouldn't rap, he shouldn't sing, he shouldn't do it. We put ourselves in a box, adding more pressure, more anxiety to each other, man. So we got to do the opposite of that, and like you say, that's love.
It's love.
Yeah.
Can you think of an act of kindness you were once shown that you will never forget?
Oh, man, so many, but oh my God. I was down for that time period. Now, a lady named Melody Scott will always have me, just come to the school and hang out. I may still looking for a job, but come out of college, just hang out with us in a portrait center and stuff. They knew my situation, and a bunch of those social service professors helped me get on my feet, and then turn right back around and gave me about $2,000 to put out an album called Animal. A Nation in Misery, Alienated and Lost. They want nothing from it. He said, we're giving you your hand up. Here's your hand up. Go do something with it. That right there.
That's amazing, man.
They ain't want nothing but success.
This has become my favorite question of the whole thing, man. Because just hearing these different stories, it's like it reinforces this belief I have that, like you said,
Yeah.
the world is kind, right? It's
Yeah.
really about what you focus on.
Exactly.
Because if you focusing on all the bad that's going on, well, guess what you're gonna see,
Exactly.
right? But if you focus on things like that and showing some gratitude for just having hands and fingers and
Yeah.
eyes,
Yeah.
feet, you
Yeah.
know, there's
Yeah.
people going through this world. My dad, he got his leg amputated. Like,
Yes.
I take for granted being
Yeah.
able to just get out of bed and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Because he
Exactly.
can't do that. That's a whole ordeal for him, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So absolutely, man. I love that question. I love hearing those
Yeah.
stories, man, because the world is a beautiful place, man.
It's
It really
beautiful.
is.
We take it for granted, man. We take it for granted. There's so many people, but that's one that stood out. Carly, but I owe just in Kansas alone, I owe so many people that has helped me along the way. I got to call out names, somebody that feel left out. There's so many that had my back through thick and thin. We call this what we say. We don't say thick and thin. We go thick and thin. You know, had my back, and I could name so many. Good Lord, you know.
Well, I will say for you, thank you. Shout out to every last one of y'all. You know,
No doubt.
because Roger makes an effect in the world, right? And those
Appreciate it.
acts of kindness are what build and mold and shape someone like this,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And he's giving it back to the world, so it's not in vain, right?
Amen.
In the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
Um, First off, eating, eating right. But I got this thing called Channel 12. I decided that I was going to put my frequency on Channel 12. Explain it real quickly is you go down to New York City, right, and the traffic jam is busy. A lot of bumper to bumper traffic, horns blowing, but it's packed. But when you drive out to California and you go to Utah, that big long stretch, every now and then you see a car go by, just Channel 12. That means that that person passed by you on the same wavelength as you. And it seems boring. It may seem boring on this long drive, but you get to think, you get to look at the country, you get to look at things and formulate your thoughts. So I decided that if I stayed in this plane, unknown Channel 12, I can formulate and create things without the anxiety of missing what's on Channel 9. So when people start to talk or bring these negative things around me, I just say that's Channel 9, thinking they in a traffic jam or bring me that bumper to bumper, road rage stuff. So as long as I stay in Channel 12, I'm good. So changing my philosophy to be as close as a mentalist as I can be, by being an actionist as I can be, I started to realize that we don't sit back and like my grandma say, sit on this porch, boy, stop running so long. Sit down on this porch and feel the cool breeze. We're so busy that we don't even feel the cool breeze of life. So I decided to be more in tune, like you just said, and fingers, eyes, nose, all that stuff. And I realize that it's just a wonderful world, man. But we're in that bumper to bump traffic and we don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a partner that, one of his pieces of advice is, when you're going through something and you have this self-talk, this negative self-talk,
Mhm.
he always says, I interrupt this broadcast with a message from my soul. You know,
I like that.
and just the action of doing that brings forth the energy. Okay, let me tighten up. But it made me think about changing that channel, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the remote control. You literally have the ability to change the channel whenever you want to. It just goes right back to what we were just talking about,
Yeah.
energy and where you focus, right?
Yep.
So I love that, where you're like, no, I love y'all, and ain't nothing wrong with being on Channel 9,
Exactly.
but I'm going to Channel 12 because I
Yep.
got things to do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's what we do.
so I'm sure you probably deal with this one a lot. What advice do you give to a kid that's about to enter the real world for the first time?
All the students always tell me, when I go speak to seniors, they always talk about this one story I tell them, the toilet paper. I say, toilet paper's toilet paper. They said, what do you mean by toilet paper? I say, the first day you go out into the real world and you get your apartment, you're going to realize there's no toilet paper. You're going to be using the Hardy bags and McDonald's tissues to use the bathroom because mama and daddy always had it. You never had to worry about food in the refrigerator. None of that stuff was always there. So the realization of life is the first day you go out and buy toilet paper.
I love that whole message. I love that whole message, man. Because there's so many layers there.
Yes.
Right? It's okay. Now you're off the titty, and it's time to all these things you was playing in high school. You didn't want to listen here.
Yeah.
Forgot that toilet paper, huh? Forgot toothpaste, huh? Yeah.
The simplest thing. It's the simplest thing. It's the simplest thing that you go, wow, I'm grown now. Yep.
And it's one of those simple things that you can easily take for granted in your life, overlook, and everything is cool until you don't got it.
Hey, you saw what happened when COVID hit, right? People were looking for toilet paper, Lysol, a simple thing you walked past 1,000 times. When it was gone, you realize how valuable it was.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I like the little Pillsbury orange cinnamon rolls. Right?
Yeah.
Man, you can't find them right now. I'm talking about it. No matter where you go, you can't find them. And like I have so much I paid $20 for a can of them things right now.
That's how I be, man. That's how I be. Yeah.
So the mantra here at Deeply Rooted is kill the ego, ignite the soul. What does that mean to you?
Humble yourself and go out there and be great. Like I say, a spark starts an inferno. You never seen an inferno just starts. It starts by a spark. So that humility, as you said, will give you the focus and the energy to ignite something that's great and satisfying. Once again, not just for yourself, but for others. And it will be reflected by your results.
Love it. I love it. We only have a few more. You've been killing it though, bro. So I appreciate you.
Thank you for the show, man. It's a great show. I love this.
Thank you. So we all have this moment in our journeys where we want to call it quits, when we're at our lowest, so to speak.
Yeah.
When you reach that point in your journey, how did you fight through?
I thought about my granddaddy, Georgia. You know, I got a chance to see racism on a different level in Georgia and how he would work 7 days a week wearing overalls. Couldn't even write his name. He wrote his name with an X. But he was always up about 5 in the morning working for the household. And I think about that. So when I think about my granddaddy, he never really, to me, may he rest in peace, never really got his just due. We didn't get it until we was older. The value of him and how precious he was, we didn't get it. It was in the 90s, just throwing out there, rapping and talking. We did not get it. About time I get it, it was on his last day. So that right there did it for me. And also losing my brother. Yep, that did.
So on a day-to-day basis, when you feel overwhelmed or unfocused or have lost your focus temporarily, what do you do?
I normally fuss to myself and take a deep breath. And once again, the cheat code. I know what life is about. I know somehow I'm going to win. Just like I like to say, mankind, like no matter if this guy be mad, I'm gonna win this. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a shirt that says win or win, W-I-N or W-H-E-N. It's just a win after that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I reset real quick and get back focused because, like you said, you are appreciating, even though you're mad, you messed up, you do your hands like this, like you just said, you keep your hands. Morality of your life makes you think about that. When our blood pressure was high, I know what that felt like. When I was in the hospital, I know what that felt. I'm like, I'm tripping. This ain't nothing. I can get past this. You know what I'm saying? So that reality of life is normally the thing that wakes me back up as I spaz to myself a little bit. Not to make you trip. You're acting like you only want to things. You're right. Things are going good. That's all the time you want to be praiseful or praising God. You got and this part right here is what can make you so evolve. So when that happens, find a way to evolve. So that's what I do now.
Yep. And so there's that little shift in mindset.
Yeah.
Like just a little small shift that says, you know what? I'm gonna use this for me. Things are happening for me and not to me. Right? And that takes that victim mentality out of it. And you know, like you said, then you start leaning on your understanding, start leaning, trusting yourself, like, okay, you got it, bro. Let's, and thinking about, people like your grandfather and how life really was for them and how damn easy and good we got it right now.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh my God, a bunch of our old soft butts, we probably couldn't even, you know what I mean? They're like, you ain't got no carpet in here. You got a dirt floor, like, and shit like that. So I love that. I have a feeling you're gonna have a good one for this question right here. If you could have a gigantic billboard that the entire world would see, what would it say and why?
Oh, that's a good one. Wow. I don't ever get stumped on things, man. On a billboard, what would it say? You know what? It's not even original. It came from something divine. I think if you put this on a billboard and people took it to heart, it'll open the universe up. Do unto others as you have it.
Straight out the Bible.
Yep.
Do unto others as you would have others do unto you.
Yep.
I love it, and I agree. It would open up the universe, but you know what? Something shows up though.
Yeah.
Because for there's a lot of people that have a hard time with self-love.
That's true.
And some people are harder on themselves than they are on others.
You're right.
You know? So in that case, and I'm not trying to counter what you said, it's just that's what showed up. Like that's what showed up. I'm like, man, people do that. And there's some people, I don't want you to do me like you do you.
Yeah. Hey Tony, let's remix that. Okay. Then I think that I will put love up there. Let my acronym. Let one's value involved.
I love it.
Yeah. So if you're that person, I got to love you for where you at.
Yeah.
I think that's going to help people because I believe that if I feel all this thing, I'm ugly, I'm this and that, then I'm not going to love myself or you. So,
I love it.
Yeah.
I have a friend, more of a mentor really to me. His name is Anil Gupta, and he's known as the Love Doctor, right? He's top 5 relationship coach in the world.
Nice.
Right? And his definition of love is very similar to yours. He says love is acceptance, right?
Nice.
Letting one's value evolve.
Yeah, same thing. You're right. That's fire. Yeah.
It's fine. I love it, man. So that would be a beautiful billboard.
Yeah.
Okay, three more questions. If you could give a single gift to every person in the world, everybody gets one, what would it be?
Is it a gift that we can? This is a
Doesn't have
spiritual.
to be tangible.
It can be fantasy too.
Yep.
Okay. Another day in life.
Shit. Wow. I love that. And there's a lot of people who didn't wake up today.
Amen.
And their people are going through it right now.
Yeah.
And all they would want is just another day, right?
To reset it. To reset and do some things. Yep. That's what I would do.
I love it, man. Do you have a song that you would consider the soundtrack to your life? Or is there a song that you turn to for strength?
I always listen to Condition, a song called I Am Here. But from a song from like would probably be something by Curtis Mayfield. And I think the song I listen to a lot with him is We the People Who Are Darker Than Blue. Because that song was dead in the late 60s or 70s, early 70s. And he says, I want to pardon you, brother, as you stand in your glory. Allow me to tell you the real story. He was talking about racism, black on black crime, all these things in the early 70s, man. So we the people who color dark and blue, you get a chance to listen to that song and how he laid out the words to the song. He talks about even the rapes back in slavery and stuff. He said, "Hi, yellow girl, you just a dark secret." You know what I'm saying? He was breaking down everybody. The music go off into this cultural bongos, like African type music and stuff. So to me, that's one of the most powerful songs I've ever heard. That's the song I go to besides Condition.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah.
So last thing, bro, what can we do to support you?
I tell people to go to truththereason.com, truththereason.com. Support the gear, check out the movies that we got, the national movies that we got. Or better yet, donate to the Safe House. We're trying to build a safe house. I have helped so many students, and we have helped. Anybody ever bought one of these have helped students stay in safe houses. It's hard because kids don't have a safe house. So we put people in extended stays, hotels, until they got a place to stay. I want to get a place where they can get. The goal is to have a place where you house about 5 to 10 students, and you teach them workforce development, soft skills, help them get back on their feet. But here's the caveat: so they can have a sustainable lifestyle. You just can't give a person something for the day. It's like I borrow $100 from you. I gotta pay you back next week. I'm back broke. If you say, Roger, where did you get 400 and get 100 back? You see what I'm saying? So I think this place ain't for them to stay forever. There's a place to stay for maybe 2 months, get back on your feet, and get back out there again and be ready to next people in. I want to do that where they walk in there, they have soft skills, which a lot of times we lose our job. I tell students all the time, you cannot go to a Kansas City Chief training camp with a Denver Broncos jersey on. So what makes you think you're gonna get a job dressed like you unless you're gonna do it yourself, your own job? So you gotta know what soft skills. A lot of times you get eliminated from job by just how you come out, your presence. And they watch you at the door. They look at your thing. So you're trying to get that job when you don't want to do entrepreneurship. You're trying to get a job, you own their dime. You got there's certain rules. We need to know that posture. We gotta know how to posture. Can't come in and smell like weed. You gotta know how to posture. So those are the things we want to teach them.
I love it, man. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share your site in Deeply Rooted, and I'll share it in the comments of the show too.
Appreciate it.
So definitely. This has been been a really powerful conversation, bro.
Likewise, man.
I really appreciate you taking your time. And we got to link up, man. We got to get some
Yeah.
type of synergy going, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got
So,
to. Hey, I wish I had time to play the number one song you had. You know, Tony thought I forgot about his song. I sent it to him. He forgot about he sent that song to me.
yeah, I sure did. Thank you, man.
Song, man. You can tell there just the wisdom and knowledge. And that song right there is so motivational, man. Songs like that is not old because it still got value. It's the gift to keep on giving. You know, I always tell people this, start ending with this. We gotta stop calling people old. You say, what's up, OG or OG and all this stuff? I say, I'm not old, I'm classic. An old car, you put box in it. A classic car, you clean up and show off on the weekend.
And it increases in value, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Not old, you know, so that's the thing, man. So your song gives life, man. I always say music gives life, man. And that's what you do. You write life, you gave it, man. Straight up.
You know, honestly, bro, like, I'm conflicted with the culture, bro. I really am. Like, and something I'm realizing here recently is, you know, we're a really unhealed culture.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There's a lot of open wounds. There's a lot of stuff that's unhealed.
Yes.
And it's hard for me to heal in an environment that's unhealed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that probably explains best why I took my distance, bro.
Shoot those missiles out, though. Those missiles out. People gonna hear what you say because there's a lot of, just like you said earlier, there's a lot of good people in the world that would love to hear that.
You're right.
See what I'm saying? They would love to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do it now. I don't do music for nothing but to put a message out there. Who gets it good at? Put on my website. Listen, you don't listen. I just did it because I'm getting good at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I gotta put it out there, but not trying to do a show or none of that. Just put it out there so maybe somebody will listen to it. And that's it. I believe that one verse can save mankind. It may be your verse.
Message received, sir.
Yep.
I got you. So much love, bro.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah, we'll link up soon.
Let's do it.
All right, peace.
All right.
Yep. There it is, man. another powerful conversation. Love this show. It's growing. I love growing. I hope y'all growing with me. Cause every single week I learn something new. And that's what this is for. So I don't do it for me. Even though, well, okay, how about I say it? I didn't start out doing it for me. And with how much I grow and learn, I'm perfectly fine to just continue doing it for me. But it's for y'all. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Next week, oh my God, we got one of my favorite people on earth, Miss Chantel Jones. When you talk about resilience and strength and a rock solid mindset, you know, that's Chantel. It's gonna be an awesome conversation. You guys enjoy your Sunday.